Hi, this is Greg with Engaging Teacher. I'm starting a new TpT store, and guiding me through the process will be Rebecca. She started her TpT store over 5 years ago and has agreed to answer my questions and share her experiences running an online business. So I was wondering, when do you make banners, and why do you make banners? And how do you make banners?
All right. Well, the first thing is a lot of people, when they say banners, they mean different things. So let's just kind of walk around the store so that we all agree what we are calling a banner. So the first thing is, when you come to your TpT store, there's not really anything there. But you will usually have a quote in your quote box. And then down here, there will be what most people call a banner. It's a long, thin graphic, essentially, that you can put whatever you want in. And then down on the side, you'll have another smaller banner that just has additional information. Most people focus their time on the quote box and that top banner because that's what people see when they first come to your store.
Okay.
Okay. So if you go into your store and you want to customize that long thin banner or your side banner, you are going to go to your dashboard. These are in two different places and it gets a little bit confusing. So if you click on your dashboard, let's go ahead and do that here for you. There are 3 tabs up at the top. The first one would be any earnings that you would have, then any traffic, and you can figure out where people are coming from. And then the third one is marketing. And so this is where you would throw a sale or if you wanted to submit to the newsletter, but this is the one we're talking about right now, to customize your own banners.
Okay.
So you would click on that and it takes you to Customize My Store. And this is where you're going to do, and this is what they call their store page leaderboard. This is that long, thin banner.
Okay.
You can also do the column banner, the one that's on the side here as well. If you are going to do your quote box, then that's going to be in a completely different place. You have to go to My Account, and when you click on My Account, it will take you to all of your account information. And so it'll start out up here in the account basics. You want to go down to store profile, and then you have to edit that. And this is where you put all of your information about who you are, what type of products you make. And right here where it says personal quote, you can actually put in a quote if you would like. But they also have the option to do an image or a link. And so if you want to put an image in that spot, this is where you would do it.
Okay.
Okay, but that's not what we're doing right now.
All right.
Right now, we're actually focusing on this, what they call the leaderboard.
Okay.
And it tells you right here, this banner will appear across the top of your store page. And they say, do you want to see an example? Sure. So you can see here, this is what the page looks like. This would be the quote box right here. This is the banner.
Okay.
Okay, a lot of people use this to bring attention to new products they've created, or if they're having a sale, or if they want people to look in their custom categories. It'll be whatever you want to bring your customers' attention to.
So you can change that anytime you like?
Anytime you want. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So the first thing is that you've got to make sure you get the sizes right. TpT has given you the size right here. And if you notice, that's in pixels. You'll have to figure out where, depending on what you're creating in, if you're creating in PowerPoint, you need to convert pixels to inches. And to do that, you can just go online and Google pixels to inches, and it will tell you exactly how many inches it is.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Also, when you come in here, we're going to create a picture just so you can see what it looks like. You'll choose that picture here and upload it. But if you are, let's say you're promoting one specific product and you want to make sure that it links to that, then you would put the link to your product right here. And then if they click on the leaderboard, it will take them to that one specific product.
Oh,
so if you're having 50% off a bundle or something, they can click on that and it would take them right to it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now we know how big it is. We know how to link it. Let's go ahead and create one. So I have started out, I have a template here that I already made. This is one that I have made previously. I just wanted to show you kind of what it looks like. To set up the size, I went to Design and Slide Size, and this is a custom slide size. And so you can see my width and my height, and I did it as a landscape.
Okay.
Okay. And so now you're just going to come in here and create, just like you normally would. You're going to add text and clip art, just like you normally would on any other PowerPoint.
All right.
So if we want to recreate this one that I have here, a couple of things. You want to let your customer know how much they're going to be saving, what type of sale it is. If there's a code that they need to use for TpT, I would have it in there just so they don't forget. And if you want to put the date range, you can.
When you say code they need to use for TpT, what does that mean?
So sellers can only put their store on sale for up to 20% off, but a few times throughout the year, TpT will add to that, and so then buyers can save up to 25% off certain items.
But they have to enter that code.
Yes, they have to enter that code because your store will only be 20% off, and in order to get that additional amount, they need to put that code in at checkout.
I see. Okay.
Okay. All right, so the first thing is, and you can see these are all individual text boxes or pictures or icons, and everything in here I added separately, and I chose the font. This is kind of the artistic thing, and it does take a while for you to figure it out. So, and then this is just a box to go around it. So we'll create one that's similar. Maybe it'll be exactly the same. We'll see. Maybe we'll like something else. You never know.
All right.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I want to insert, and let's do the shape. Let's do the outline right now. So you could certainly add in a rectangle and then do the border and then make the inside transparent. That would work. They also have this shape down here, which I don't know what they call it, but if you click on that, it'll just do the outline for you.
Okay.
And then you can make it as thick or as thin as you want.
Oh, okay.
And then you can choose your colors, and there you go.
Oh, nice.
Okay. If you are working off of your logo color, I might suggest bringing a copy of your logo over so that you can choose the colors that you want. Right now, I know that these are the colors that I want, so I'm just going to, let me bring these over so you can see what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to put these to the side because I really only want them for the color.
Okay, so those aren't going to stay. They're just going to show you what colors you use so you can match it.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And I've seen other people use a color swatch and they keep it there so that they can just use the eyedropper tool.
That's a great idea.
I thought it was a good idea as well. All right, so here is my outline, and I want it to be this color here. So in order to make it that particular color, I'm going to go up to Shape Format. And here for Shape Fill, I'm going to go to my eyedropper tool, and then I select, but you have to make sure, because see there how it's kind of gray? You have to make sure it's on the shade that you want. And then I don't want it to have an outline, so I'm going to come click No Outline.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm just going to start adding in all of my different components. They're all going to be different text boxes, so insert text box. And the first thing that I had was that it was, what, 25%? And it was save up to, because you can't guarantee that they're going to use the code, so.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Make sure that, you know, hey, it's up to you guys. So I want to make sure that I center that. That's just the look that I prefer. And that was the first piece of information I wanted. The next thing I had was what type of sale. This one was a
What did
teacher.
you just do there?
Oh, thank you. Sorry. So I could certainly insert another text box and continue,
Uh-huh.
but I've already centered it, and I know that it's at least this big. I'm going to be doing a lot of playing with this, with the fonts and everything, but at least I have some sort of a start. So instead of inserting a brand new text box, I just highlight the whole box, and you've got to go on the outside.
Okay.
See if I can make this a little bit bigger. So if you look, these are like very faintly, they're dotted lines. And if you just do that, you're editing the inside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come here, now it's a solid black line.
Yep.
Now I've highlighted the whole box. And I'm just going to quickly copy it. So Control C, Control V, and then Control V is pasting it. And so now I just have a new one.
Okay.
Okay? And it's just something that I do now by second nature.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, the next thing that I'm going to do is say what type of sale it is. This was a teacher appreciation sale. And I wanted to make sure that they used the code. Use code gift for use YOU. We'll look and see. Oops. So I accidentally, and I do this all the time, I accidentally just hit Control X. So that's not a big deal. Don't flip out. I used to in the beginning. Oh my gosh, I have to remake everything. Just come up here to your undo button and bam, there you go.
Okay.
So because X and V and C are all right there. That was pretty helpful for whoever designed those codes. All right, and then what was the last thing? Let's peek. And these are all decisions that you'll be making as you're creating it.
Date of the sale.
Yeah, date of the sale. So date of the sale. And let's actually do that. We'll just label each of the components.
So that way you know what goes in there while you're designing it.
Yeah. And so quite honestly, this is all personal preference, and it just takes you some time to figure out how to do it. So we're going to call this name of the sale. And this is percentage off. Oops. Percentage off. All right. Was there anything else that we gave them in here? Amount, name, code, date. All right. So now comes the fun part for me anyway, is designing. And you can see as I'm going in here, I don't need to do this right now. It's just something I do when I'm playing around.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm doing it, you can see the lines, the red lines. So that lets you know that it's at least centered on the other words, other boxes.
Okay.
Okay. Now I have to figure out what I want it to look like. And again, all personal preference. So I'm just going to go up to Home. And I use a lot of KG fonts because I have a lot of licenses from her. Every time there's a sale on TpT, I go buy a couple licenses just so I have them.
And that's a TpT store?
Yep, that's a TpT store.
And you just find it under KG?
Or Kimberly Guestwine. I'm not sure what she has her store under, but I like her fonts.
Okay.
So, but there's a lot of other font makers out there. All right, and so one thing that I do, let me just bring it over. In PowerPoint, when you highlight the item and you go through it, you can kind of see what it'll look like.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can feel, what field do you want for the particular sale that you're doing. And let's make this a little bit bigger so I can really see it. Now for the one that I had before, I'm pretty sure this was what I used. Yep. Do you want me just to recreate this one?
Yeah, that
Okay.
way I can see what you did.
All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to highlight the word, undo. I'm going to highlight the word sale because I had that pulled out here and I made it much bigger.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. So, I could certainly again create another text box, but it's just easier for me to pull it out. And then I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to come up here to this arrow. about right. Yep. All right. Now on the other one, it looks like I might have pulled the letters apart.
Mm-hmm.
I could certainly do those individually, but I think I can. So if you look up here, there's a bunch of different stuff that you can do with your font just from right here.
Okay.
However, you can also go over to shape format, and there's more font things you can do here as well.
Okay.
But I like, this gives me a lot of different variation pretty quickly. So you can bold it, italicize, underline. You can have a little bit of a shadow cross through it for some reason. I use these two quite a bit. This one allows me the spacing in between the letters, so I can squish them together, or I can make them pretty loose, or I can do even more items here.
Okay.
So you can see very loose, and that separates the letters like I had it.
Okay.
Okay. I also want to make sure right now they are left justified, so I want to put them in the center, and then I want to make sure that they are centered in the middle as well.
This
So,
is of the text box they're part
of the text box they're
Okay.
part of. Yep, yep. So now it is all centered, it is spaced out. Now I want to make it that color. Let me go back up here just so I can grab it.
And when you say grab it, you're just copying
I'm
it.
just going to copy it. Yep. All right. So now it comes out black, but if I want it to be different colors, then I'll come up here and I will select the color. But again, pretend I don't have these here because you haven't really used them. So I'm just going to go to my eyedropper and select what I want. So now if you look, it's the color I want, but
It looks different.
yeah, it's kind of just boring in there. I need an outline.
Okay.
And so this is where I'm going to go to my shape format, and with all of my different letters, they have some things in here that are like preset for you
Mm-hmm.
that, you know, might work. That looks kind of cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just a few things. So I want to make it so that it matches, again, my colors. You can see this is the fill color right here.
Mm-hmm.
This will be the outline color. So I'm going to come here, again with my eyedropper, and let me just select my brown, if I can get it.
It's harder
Yeah,
on the
just-
smaller stuff,
Yeah,
isn't
so
it?
let me zoom in here.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Zoom. Okay. Okay.
So now I'm going to zoom back out, but this will save you so many times, especially when you're working on really fine detail.
Nice.
All right. So now I've got that. I can get rid of that. Another thing that I always like to try to do is see, do I want this little, no, I don't want that. That's too dark.
Harder to read.
Yeah. Okay. So now I've done one component of it. And the next one, this was what? Teacher appreciation? Teacher appreciation. And because my text box is only this big, it's going to wrap around, so I need to make my text box big enough for my words. And here, you can see this one I did the shadow on, this one I did not.
Mm-hmm.
I made this, they both have the brown outline, and it looks like I've got some little icons in there as well that I'll need to add. Alright, so I'm going to come in here. I've already used this color in the border, so I should be able to, yep. And now I need to go up to my shape format, and there we go. Did I misspell appreciation? I did. All right. Now the one thing is with this, again, I want to make sure that I am centered. Good. I want it to be in the middle. This is only one, whatever this unit is, apart.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's too much white space. Like, I don't like that.
Okay.
So to solve that, I'm just going to make those two separate text boxes. So I'm going to highlight it, Control X, Control V, and now I have my own text box that I can just manipulate and do whatever I want. If I want it to sit on top of it, I can. It's really, so now they're separate and I can do different things to them and I don't have to,
Gotcha.
yeah. All right. So here, I had it with the dark. And then I also had some, see how I centered it? I like all these arrows in here. It makes my life so much easier.
Yeah.
I had some icons in there. So to do that, insert. Next to shapes is icons. And that was an arrow of some sort. So you kind of look through here, and this is what the time consuming part is, especially in the beginning when you're not aware of what's even available to you. This and clip art and papers, it can all take a long time. So I'd recommend, if you're just, watching TV, that you can kind of mindlessly watch and scroll at the same time and just get an idea of where things are.
Okay.
Okay, so like if you wanted to use little flowers or any of those things, they're cute. And icons are nice because they give ideas. Okay, so I had to put this one and this one. I'm going to insert those. And those were brown. So that was this. And I don't want an outline. Now these are just like pictures. I can resize them. When they both are highlighted like that and you resize them, it does them the same, which is nice. Because then you don't have to try to get one exactly the same size as the other. All right.
But then you have to separate, click outside, and then grab one to separate them.
Yep. All right, so now I have this, but look, it's all wonky. So I'm just going to highlight them all. So I just clicked my arrow over here. I did my left click mouse, and I highlighted all of them. Let's see if it will let me align. And I always mess this up. Don't do it center, because otherwise they'll all be on top of each other. Here, let me just show you what it looked like. Nobody wants that.
Okay.
And then Control Z is undo, just so you know.
Oh. Okay.
Align middle. But see, it puts them in the middle because this is not. Is that in the top? Oh, it's there. Alright, so I'm going to have to fuss with it. And that's fine. But I still use my lines. Does it look good? Do I have the same amount of white space? Yeah, close enough. And that's something that can take you forever. Like, is it good enough? You know what? I listened to a podcast, Jenna Kutcher. She was like, done is better than perfect. So,
okay.
I mean, yeah, you want it to look nice, but don't spend your whole life on it because it's one banner for one sale.
Gotcha.
And then when it's pretty darn good, then I go through and I highlight them all. And if I hit Control G, that groups them all as one thing. And now I can move it as a group.
Ah, okay.
Okay. So now you have a little more control over the whole thing for the white space around it.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. So now I have Teacher Appreciation Sale. Is sale big enough? Let's make it bigger. All right. And now it's just the same process of making it pretty and doing what you want to do with it. What was that? KG Let Her Go?
There it is.
Where?
Down below. Under Lego.
There it is. Thank you. And then I did notice, let me make all of this uppercase so it's all the same size, that my off was a little bit smaller. So I'm going to make that a smaller font. And now you get how I made this, so in order to save time, I'm just going to copy and paste what I've already got. sitting here watching me create is probably not very exciting. So again, I'm going to highlight all of that, Control C, Control V.
So if you already have a banner you've made and you just want to change a couple things, you can
absolutely
copy it over.
Keep templates. That will make your life so much easier. And again, just for time's sake. Ooh, did I have an arrow on the other one? I don't think so. All right. So there you go.
Great.
Now, this is all well and good. You can spend forever trying to play with this, but you got to put it somewhere.
All right.
So in order to do that, you want to go up and you want to hit File, Save As, and again, whatever you're going to save it as, and make sure you save it in the spot where you can find it. Save it as a JPEG. I'm going to save it to the desktop for the purposes of demonstration. I highly recommend you don't do that. Find somewhere to put your things and some sort of organizational system.
Okay.
All right, so save, and then I want to do just this one. I don't want to do everything in my entire presentation. Let's minimize that, and there we go. And I can tell here if I look, this one says Banner PPTX, that's my PowerPoint file. This is my picture.
Oh, okay. And so that's what's going to go into the TpT store?
Make sure that you put the right extension in. It won't take the other one.
Okay.
Because it actually says here, upload your image, and then here are the type of supported ones.
Oh, I see.
So you can have a GIF, a JPEG, another different kind of JPEG, and a PNG file.
Okay.
All right, so choose File, and we want to go to our desktop. Where is the desktop? Oh, this PC. Banner. And you can see it's been added because it says Banner JPEG.
Okay.
If I was going to link a product, don't forget to put your link in here. If you forget, you can always go back and add it. But
okay.
But since you don't have any products, we're not going to link anything to it. And then we hit save. All right, and it says, hey, this is what it's going to look like. And you're like, awesome. Now, we're not going to do our store column banner here, but you would follow the same exact process. But let's go to your store. And there's your banner.
Awesome.